Thank you very much indeed, Madam Moderator. The United Kingdom is in crisis regarding racism, xenophobia and intolerance, not because of Brexit, although according to our liberal press, all Brexiteers are racist xenophobes who have to be introduced to their own reflection in the mirror or taught how to work Velcro. I'm a Brexiteer. And not because the stats on hate crime are rising rapidly, and of course they are. In 2016, 3,300 people were detained for posting offensive messages online. Last year, the British police arrested 9 people a day for their thoughts online. In the United Kingdom, hurty words have become a policing priority in London, where more than 100 children have been stabbed to death since the start of the year. Our Muslim mayor decided to allocate 1.7 million Great British pounds to a specialist online hate squads to police words. Knives are doing considerably more damage. Our crisis in the UK is that when you define anything other than approved thought as racist, xenophobic or intolerant, good people dare not share an opinion for fear of prosecution. We have become intolerant to alternative opinions or views or ideas. In fact, just last week, a police force in the UK urged people to report insults which make them feel bad, even if they're not crimes, under the slogan #HateHurts. Police have called upon members of the public to report incidents that made them feel hurt. Hurt is an emotion. In the UK in 2018, we are policing emotion. What next? Policing for feeling proud? And it doesn't take too much searching in our recent history to show what happens to those who dare challenge the system or the establishment. For the crime of standing in the street repeating information already in the public domain, Tommy Robinson was tried and convicted within 5 hours and sentenced to 13 months in jail. The British state is intolerant of speech regarding majority Pakistani Muslim rape squads in the UK. Our British daughters, victims of these grooming gangs, were called white trash. But in the UK, racism can only happen if you're black. The Lord Chief Justice himself said that Tommy Robinson was improperly tried, improperly convicted, improperly sentenced, and improperly treated in prison. Even as we sit here right now, Marine Le Pen has been ordered by a judge in France to undergo psychiatric testing for tweets criticising ISIS to see if her mental health could be a risk to the public. They want to label her as a mad woman for criticising terrorists. The French state is tolerant of terrorists, but intolerant of their critics. What madness is this? We are headed to a very dark place indeed. Imprisoned for speaking in the street, sectioned in France for criticising terrorists, arrested for hurty words online, policing emotion. It seems to me that many of those seated here who preach tolerance are in fact the most intolerant of all. I recommend the United Kingdom stop imprisoning those who criticise majority Pakistani rape squads. I recommend France stop trying to section people who criticise Islamist terrorists as madwomen, and I praise America for standing strong for your First Amendment rights. Thank you very much indeed.
Another factor in understanding this administration's policy of appeasement is its relationship with an organization you may not have heard of before. One of the largest, most powerful organizations in the world, and you should know its name. It's called Organization for Islamic Cooperation, OIC, and so far it's gone virtually unnoticed. Who are they? The OIC is the second largest intergovernmental organization in the world after the United Nations. The OIC claims they have authority to represent all Muslims, even those who live in non-Muslim countries like the United States. In 2005, this very influential Islamic organization published a 10-year plan of action in 2005 to implement its Sharia-based speech code requirements worldwide. They intend to internationally criminalize all communication or any communication or speech that's deemed by them to be insulting to Islam, even in countries like the United States. Islamic enforced speech codes. No one, not Muslims, not non-Muslims, not Americans, are allowed to say anything Islamists see as insulting to their religion. They intend to force us to kiss our freedom of speech and religion goodbye. Unbelievably, last December, they succeeded with both President Obama and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's help, because they pushed through the United Nations the passage of UN Resolution 1618, which called upon all countries to enact laws preventing derogatory references to Islam, a clear violation of our First Amendment freedom of speech. And even before that, in October, last October, many prominent Islamic organizations wrote a letter to the White House where they urged our White House to do a complete purge of any federal training materials from references to the ideology of Islam, to ensure that all trainers in our U.S. military, our FBI, and other U.S. security agencies be retrained so they would be brainwashed in political correctness toward Islam. That's enforced Islamic speech codes here in the United States, and all done with the help of our President and Secretary of State. It took only days for the Obama administration to reply to this demand letter from the Islamists, promising to set up a task force with these same organizations to immediately begin this unprecedented purge of our counterterrorism training in every federal agency across the board. It's breathtaking, never been done before. But when members of Congress, myself included, started to ask questions about the identities of who these people were who were leading this purge in our government and what it was they were purging from our training materials, the Obama administration told us the information was closed.